Nick. So up next we've got Nick Tecosky. Nicholas Tecosky, according to this piece of paper, is a writer and a performer who by day produces Right Club Atlanta and by night kicks around town looking for podlings to suck the life essence from in the hopes that it will restore his misspent youth. Give it up for Nick Tecosky and the Dark Crystal.
Hello. How's everyone? I was working on a lot of different ideas for my piece this evening, and in my research, I just hit a treasure trove. What I discovered on the internet, because you can find lots of shit there, was a series of faxes from the screenwriter of The Dark Crystal, David Odell, to director Jim Henson. I'm going to read these for you instead of the piece that I'd prepared, which was really lame. Fax number 1, which is dated October 11th, 1979. To Jim Henson, from David Odell, subject, Khmer Rouge historical pic. Hey, Jim. I am just elated regarding last night's conference call. I have to say, considering the type of work you've been doing with the Muppets, which is all just brilliant, by the way, I was a little bit stunned to find out how receptive you were to producing my screenplay, The Bloodlands. Since first meeting Dith Pran and hearing about his family's struggle under Pol Pot's brutal regime, I've decided to dedicate my entire life to shedding light on the atrocities committed by the Khmer Rouge upon the people of Cambodia. It's really just great to know that you share my dedication. Jim, I appreciate your craft. Your attention to detail and story structure is beyond reproach. I keep telling people that Jim Henson really fucking cares about doing the right thing the right way. I think that in this case, the right thing is the Bloodlands, and the right way is Jim Henson's way. By the by, if I wasn't clear, yes, totally open to changing the title to something less heavy-handed. Anyway, I look forward to next week's table read of the Bloodlands, or whatever we're going to call this important film. Fax number 2, which is dated October 17th, 1979, to Jim Henson, from David Odell, subject, Khmer Rouge, Bloodlands, table read. Jim, I'm a little bit confused about yesterday's table read, and I'm still processing some of your notes. I'm just going to tick through some things to make sure we're on the same page here. On streamlining Dith Pran's story, yeah, I get this, I suppose. The politics at the time were just a sprawling mess. Maybe we focus on one man's journey. It's true, sometimes reality doesn't make a tight narrative, and tight narratives sell. Whatever gets this very human story in front of Western audiences, I am all for. Second of all, I'm not fully on board yet when it comes to making it a fictionalized country. I mean, doesn't that sort of undercut the impact? It's like the Amityville Horror, right? Where like the only reason anybody gives a shit about the Amityville Horror is because they think it's real, except that it wasn't. Not really. The house wasn't haunted, and that little girl never actually saw a demon pig, but because they said it was real, people gave a shit. Do you see where I'm going with this? See, Dith Pran's story and the story of his family was actually real, Jim. They are real people with real problems. They suffered through real atrocities. Why would we take the teeth out of their story? We'll talk more about it later, I guess. You are Jim Henson. By the way, although I think that Frank Oz is, a national treasure, I'm not sure he was a right fit to read for Pol Pot. Don't get me wrong, the man is a fine actor, but all those creepy, sexy Yoda noises during the table read really distracted from the story. Anyway, talk soon, Jim. You're the best. Fax number 3, dated October 20th, 1979, to Jim Henson, from David Odell. Subject, new draft, ? Actually followed by 3 question marks. Okay, maybe I'm being paranoid, Jim. But I can't help but feel that the takeaway from your last fax was that for some reason you and Frank were just gonna go ahead and redraft my screenplay. Why would you do that, Jim? I'm a very capable writer, right? I tell the story well and simply, don't I? Don't you think that? Have people been saying otherwise? I'm probably being paranoid. P.S. Please ask Frank to quit calling in the middle of the night and then hanging up. I know it's him because of the sexy Yoda noises. They are very suggestive, Jim. It's unsettling. Thank you so much for your time. Get back to me, please. Fax number 4 is dated October 30th, 1979. To Jim Henson from David Odell. Subject, a quick word. Hey, just got you and Frank's draft. Gave it a look over. So, what the living fuck, Jim? First of all, I mean, this is really just one of myriad fucking issues with this travesty of a fucking shit show that you and Oz apparently just shat out of your goofy asses. This story takes place not just in a fictional country, but in a fictional goddamn no fucking fooling universe, Jim. And you've replaced Death Prawn with what is it? Let me consult the toilet paper scrawled with feces that is your script. A gelfling? And the entirety of the Khmer Rouge is a race of power-hungry vulture people who suck life essences out of peasant populations in order to retain their strength. Isn't that a little fucking disrespectful, Jim? Can you see how that's a fucking problem, Jim? Because I'm starting to doubt your commitment to the truth, Jim. I'm starting to see what's going on here with you. You want this to be a fucking puppet show, don't you? Don't you, Henson? You just can't fucking help it. It's a goddamn disease, Jim. You just can't get through a fucking day without getting wrist deep in some felt pig, can you? You know, the toadies on Sesame Street may call you a genius, but in the real world, we throw sick fucks like you in prison, Jim. Real prison. And you have to worry about more than Podlings and their sweet, sweet essences, Jim. Jesus, Jim. I fucking quit. I fucking quit, Jim Henson. Have fun making your Dark Crystal. Dark Crystal. That is clearly a better title than Bloodlands. Clearly less heavy-handed, Jim Henson. P.S. Tell Frank Oz to stay out of my koi pond. I see him out there creeping my kids out there, too scared to go outside. Jesus Christ, fuck you, Henson! And then there's a gap of about 2 years in these faxes. Maybe they're making conference calls at the time, I don't know. This is the final fax dated December 15th, 1982. To Jim Henson from David Odell. Subject in caps, Dark Crystal. Jim. Hey, man! Great opening weekend! And did you see Roger Ebert's review? Abso-fucking-lutely incredible. You guys, we really knocked it out of the park on this one. I'm so blessed to be a part of this team. At any rate, I wanted to see if you had some time next week. I've got an idea about that island prison in the North Sea where they sent those POWs to starve to death during the First World War in that long, cold winter. I'm calling it Fragglestein's Rock. It is going to change the fucking world. Please say hi to Frank Oz for me. Thank you.
Falcor on my squad, my dog, and it's even smelling good by the stench bog. I saw a Red Bull, but didn't bug out. He was getting freaky with a unicorn, no doubt. Put on my boots and jacket, heading for the door. Bought a dime bag from my little homie Willow. I gotta go, cause I'm always going non-stop. I'm working for a witch, so she can make the spells drop. Had to stop for a bright light, dark crystal glowing, not a Skeksis in sight. And everything is alright. I got a text from a hawk, and she's a lady all night. Called up the goblins and I'm asking y'all, which trick is Jareth taking to the ball? Get me on the dance floor, I'm trouble. Last week went to the ball, car put inside a bubble. like a beast master under his sword and sorcery game. I can't believe today was a good day.